Welcome back, Truth Seekers. It is under 80 days until the next election. The election that will decide the fate of this country, whether we fall into chaos under Hillary Clinton or whether we still have a chance under Donald Trump. And because of this, it is so important that we get as many people as we can to get out to vote. So recently, just to give you an example, my wife was conversing with a Catholic friend of hers. And we're Catholic. I've mentioned this before in our videos, so there's um, no shame in hiding it. But her friend was undecided on what he should do in the upcoming voting, and she was trying her best on her own to try to be nice and try to convince him that you need to vote for Trump because because it's better than trying to vote third party and giving half a vote to Hillary or voting for Hillary outright. But he just couldn't, no matter how hard she tried. And this isn't anything against my wife. She's a wonderful woman. It's just she's not the sort of person that can go up and actually confront people and debate them and so forth. So the guy just was not you know getting convinced that he needed to get off the fence and get in. He was still he was leaning towards, we keep saying that our that next election we'll get a third party and we'll go for them, but we never do. It's always Democrats, Republicans. I'm so sick of both, and understandable. I can understand this guy's feelings of frustrations and everything, and I relate to him very much so because I'm very sick of both parties. Well, who which really act like it's one party, but anyway, so at some point, my wife came to me and asked, "Hey, could you help me to, convince him? I don't know what I'm missing. I don't know what I need to do." And so I looked at everything that had transpired, and I wrote down a letter which I sent to him. So I got permission to use the letter in this blog, and I am not going to be using the names of the people involved in this letter. I addressed it to him, and I used my wife's name in there, so he knew that it was from me. So I'm not going to use it, but what I hope that this letter can help for those Catholics, especially Christians out there, who are undecided about whether to vote for Trump or not. I hope that this will help give those undecideds the moral clarity and certainty to be able to go out this November or absentee ballot or whatever and vote for Trump over Hillary Clinton. It's not enough that we support third parties to try to break up the cabal of the Republicans and Democrats. This is not the election to do it. If we want to do it, we need to do it next election. But let me get to the letter here. Explain. So I encourage everybody who hears this, please spread this around. Okay, spread this around as much as possible. The points I'm making here need to be said more and more to those Catholics, Christians, Jews, whoever, people of good moral faith that need to get out and vote. That because they don't like Trump, they don't like his demeanor or whatever. They think he's a meanie, whatever it is. They need to look past that and look at the heart of the issue here. So here it goes. Starting letter now. Hi, friend of my wife. This is your friend's husband. Let me get this out of the way first. I'm blunt, straightforward, and don't bullshit. My style of conversing has ruffled feathers in the past. I want you to know up front that it's nothing personal. I am not talking down to you. I just don't waste my time trying to make people feel good about their opinion. Now, let's dive into the first issue, third parties. You are correct. There are a number of third parties who have been in the race since last year. I don't really care. From a strategic standpoint, there are only two real options, Trump and Clinton. All these third parties are stuck in third party status because, quite frankly, they suck. To quote an old axiom, if you find yourself in a fair fight, your tactics suck. If these parties' message was superior to the two parties we have now, they'd have figured a way to get more attention, more votes, more seats, and more political power. Instead, third parties are the pablum of political illiterates. They are a hand job for those who are tired of the R's and the D's instead of fighting to change things in those parties, give up, and take their toys elsewhere. A shame, yes. I like the Veterans Party's platform. By the way, I'm going to interject here real quick. He had asked what my opinion was on the Veterans Party because I myself am a veteran, and looking at the Veterans Party's website, it very much aligns with almost everything that I believe should be done within the American country. And a lot of these points are also shared by Donald D. Trump. But I had to break his little bubble here, so that's what that little line is. But right there, so going back, I like the Veterans Party platform. Being a veteran myself, I could really see myself joining a party like that in more ideal situations. But not now. The time for third-party options is past. We are on the precipice of civil war. If Hillary gets elected, she will stack the open court positions with radical leftist judges who will erode our rights past the point of no return. She will fulfill what she said years ago about going with an Australian-style gun confiscation program. But unlike the Aussies, we won't just passively give away our guns. We will resist. Hillary will get more aggressive, which will spark an all-out revolution. Millions will die. And I'm not sure that this country will survive not having foreign powers come in and trying to take over in the chaos. But I'm sure that we will see war, terrorism, and devastation skyrocket within this country if Hillary gets elected. Now, I get you have misgivings about Trump. He wasn't my first choice either. Cruz was. But then he went evangelical preacher instead of fighting for the position like Trump did. Could Trump be a foil for Clinton to get elected? Certainly. This was another point he made, that he was not convinced that Trump was not a Clinton agent meant to infiltrate the Republicans and try to get Hillary elected in the end. I am so sick of hearing this argument, but anyway, I had to address it here. Sorry. Getting back to the thing here. Getting back to the letter here. Could Trump be a foil for Clinton to get elected? Certainly. It's within the realm of possibility. But so is the possibility he could be a super secret Russian sleeper agent or an alien sent to soften us up for an impending alien invasion. Honestly, who the hell knows? Which is why I'm not going to focus on if he's working for Hillary. His past dealings with her don't bother me. At the time, he was a businessman, trying to advance his business. Truth is, in order to get anything done, it's not so much what you know, but who you know. When it comes to getting around regulations and such, cozying up to politicians gets you farther than not. So his past dealings with Clinton and the Dems were just that, business dealings so he could get a favor to support and or advance his business interest. But that was then, this is now. If I'm going to judge the man, I can certainly look at his past, but it shouldn't be my final decider. Imagine if the apostles only judged Paul by his past Christian killing days and not by his conversion story. Imagine the church looked at St. Augustine's scandalous past and not his defense of the faith. Imagine if we ourselves were judged by the stupidity and sins of our youth and not by the people we became today. Lord knows, if anyone found out half the crap I did growing up, I'd probably be locked up for good. So, in this light, I have to judge Trump and Hillary based on their current statements and policies. Trump says he's pro-life and gave a very touching story to his conversion from pro-choice over to the good guy side. Hillary is pro-death, constantly expressing support for murdering babies and even inviting the likes of Cecil Richards of Planned Parenthood to speak at the DNC. Trump says he will support a pro-traditional marriage amendment, protect religious freedom, and put America first. Hillary supports gay marriage, plans to restrict the First Amendment so no one can morally speak out against the evil in this country, and has been bought and paid for by every foreign entity and has a long track record of pay-for-play schemes involving our nation's assets. For me, as a Catholic, the choice is easy. I'm not so much voting for Trump as I am voting to put someone in the office that we can hopefully turn this country around, win some moral victories for a change, and have religious liberty saved so we can continue to take this country back. Hillary will destroy this country and get a great multitude of us killed in the process. You may not agree. You may choose to vote for someone that fits more with what's in your heart. That's your choice. However, I'm going to say that if you go through with your choice, you're making a big mistake. The time to vote for what's in your heart was the primaries. That time is gone. Now's the time to make the most rational decision. Again, I wish we could have a third party because I'm sick and tired of both these parties. But third parties will not help. Traditionally, they will hurt the Republican candidate, meaning Hillary gets elected. That cannot happen. You mentioned that every election we all say vote R or D, and now vote R and D now, and next time we can try a third party. I understand your frustration. Problem is, none of the third parties are any good at winning. If you want to change the country, you have to win. There is no substitute for winning to get anything done in politics. This is a based fact, so no amount of whining about third parties is going to help. If a third party wants to be a viable option, they need to win. Start at the local level. Win local seats like city commissioners, school boards, property assessors, sheriffs, etc. Build a power base from those victories. Graduate up to the state level, getting assembly positions. This will build name and platform recognition and afford more exposure for more money to come in. Rinse and repeat until you have enough money, recognition, and power to start taking on national level seats. That takes a lot of time and patience, something we don't have right now. We are fighting for survival. We will either limp on as a country, delaying our destruction to hopefully turn things around, get right with God, and become a prosperous nation again, or we will die out like the Roman Empire, being invaded by foreign barbarians, our citizens raped and murdered, and those that survive will have no country to call their own. If you are still struggling with this issue, do this. Make a list. Split a paper down the middle. Put Trump on one side and Hillary on the other. Then, write every issue that is important to you. As a Catholic, this needs to include such moral non-negotiables like abortion, homosexual marriage, parents' right to educate children, and religious liberty and conscientious objection. There's plenty more, but I refer you to the Catechism for those. Go through each issue and put down where each candidate falls on these moral issues. As a Catholic, we need to support the candidate that will promote the greatest good and has the best chance of winning. By the way, I did a whole PowerPoint presentation on this that I am trying to get my local parish to let me present it. I've done extensive reading into the Catechism and other Catholic books on voting. If you want me to send you that, please let me know. In the end, though, the choice is yours. Are you going to see past the flaws of Trump and vote for the greatest good, or support the greater evil by voting Hillary or third party? Choose wisely, because it isn't just your life that's at stake this election. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I implore you, help spread this around. I am not trying to toot my own horn and say that what I wrote is, on par with the greats of Benjamin Franklin and the Silas Dogood letters and so. No. This is a modern letter for modern times. This is a call to tell people to stop whining, to stop complaining about all of Trump's faults, and to say, look, Trump is flawed. I get that. His past, what he's done, some of his behavioral patterns during the primaries, I get all that. But it is not the time to sit here and nitpick on such issues. We are looking at the destruction of this country. If Hillary gets elected, this country will be no more. I cannot stress that enough. We have to make the most rational choice and put our vote where it will do the most good. That is Donald J. Trump. You put it anywhere else, Hillary has a better chance to get elected. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we must support Donald J. Trump against Hillary. We must pray that God has pity on us, has mercy on us. Those good people, like the reading a couple Sundays ago, where Abraham was standing with God right before Sodom and Gomorrah, and God said he was going to destroy the place, and Abraham said, Lord, if I find but 50 people there, will you spare the city? Yes, if you find 50, I'll spare the city. And he talked God down. Well, what if I only find 10 people? Will you spare the city? Yes, I'll spare the people for 10. Spare the city for 10 people. Okay. Right now, there are at least 10 good people in this country. We need to pray that God has pity on the whole nation for the sake of those 10 people by supporting Trump. God bless you all. This is Athanasius signing off. Christ peace upon you all.